good to me. Call the city council meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Alderman Knight. Alderman Coles.
Here.
Alderman Pizek.
Here.
Alderman Shockey.
Here.
Alderman Subak.
Here.
Alderman Talame.
Here.
Alderman Winger.
Here.
Alderman Wesley.
Here.
Mayor Johnson.
Here, quorum being present, would you stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I have a motion to approve the minutes August 17th, 2006?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
On the question? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Bills, Alderman Winger.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the list of bills dated September 17th, 2006 for $343,715.02.
Is there a second?
Second.
On the question? Roll call.
Alderman Coles.
Yes.
Alderman Subak.
Yes.
Alderman Pizek.
Yes.
Alderman Shockey.
Yes.
Alderman Winger.
Yes.
Alderman Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman Talame.
Yes.
That passes. Do any citizens wish to address the city council this evening? If so, if you go over to the podium and give us your name and address. Hearing none. I do have a written communique to the mayor and the city council. Thank you for organizing a team of volunteers to participate in DuPage Remembers and Gives a Day of Volunteerism. We hope that your team members will enjoy their experience, or had enjoyed their experience. The agencies are grateful for the community support shown to them through DuPage Remembers and Gives, a Day of Volunteerism. Many of them are under pressure with recent decreases in fundings and increases in the need for their services. Your team's volunteer activity will help them stretch precious resources, allowing them to better serve their clients and community. Your group joins with 2,800 other volunteers who are generously giving 5,500 hours of service throughout DuPage County in this year's DuPage Remembers and Gives a Day of Volunteerism. It would take one individual working over 2.5 years to accomplish what our volunteers are completing today. When we consider the value of volunteer time, the equivalent of $100,000 is being provided, in addition to the many items being donated through collection drives. We hope the connections your group makes will continue throughout the year. Agencies are always in need of volunteers every day of the year, ranging from board members to planning special events to working directly with clients. Feel good volunteer. Volunteering in DuPage County will soon become even easier with the addition of an interactive volunteer match feature on our website. This one-stop clearinghouse of opportunities will be available within the next 2 months. Sincerely, Jennifer Wilk, Director, and we have a receipt of a certificate signed by her thanking the City of Wooddale for its contribution. Under Mayor's Report, I have a proclamation, Save a Life Month. Whereas Save a Life Foundation's missions is training and developing people, starting with school children to be active bystanders equipped with basic life-supporting first aid skills and aid during emergencies. Whereas Save a Life Foundation utilizes only emergency medical service professionals and instructors to teach basic life-supporting first aid techniques to school children, grades K through 12, and adults. And whereas basic life-supporting first aid techniques such as CPR, Heimlich maneuver, and the use of an AED are essential in maintaining life prior to EMS arrival. And whereas the U.S. Conference of Mayors passed a resolution presented by Save a Life Foundation calling for the need for communities to create community response systems initiative committees to encourage citizens, including children, to learn life-supporting first aid skills in case of an emergency response. Whereas Save a Life Foundation works with local, state, federal government organizations and the private sector to highlight the importance of public emergency preparedness and effective emergency response. Whereas Save a Life Foundation, an affiliate of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, encourages all municipalities to recognize Save a Life Month in connection with Homeland Security's National Preparedness Month, a nationwide effort to encourage Americans to prepare for emergencies. And whereas Save a Life Foundation will coordinate this year an awareness campaign, including billboard advertisements for Save a Life Month to promote life-supporting first aid training in majorities. And whereas the month of September 2006 has been designated as National Save a Life Month, now therefore be it resolved that all municipalities, mayors, governors work with local, state, and federal government organizations and the private sector to proclaim, to participate in, and to celebrate the month of September as National Save a Life Month. In witness whereof I have set my hand and seal the great seal of the city of Wooddale fixed here too. A couple other announcements, things happening in the community we remind everybody of, beginning with the car wash on September 9th. This is being sponsored by the Wooddale Junior High, Wooddale School District 7, and the City of Wooddale. You can bring your dirty car to Wooddale Junior High School on Saturday, September 9th from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. We also ask that you bring a donation, a non-perishable food item. Proceeds from the car wash, in addition to the food, will either go to the Wooddale Food Pantry or the Wooddale PADS program. Also, on September 10th, the VFW is sponsoring Tioga VFW Post 2149 Men's Auxiliary, a bike run to benefit juvenile diabetes on Sunday, September 10th. Lineup is 9 a.m. and they're going to leave at 10 a.m. From the Georgetown Center VFW Post. And of course, we want to remind everybody of Harvest Fest on September 10th, which I believe is from 11 to 4 at the Wooddale Historical Society located at 850 North Wooddale Road. And everyone is invited. That is a free event. And the Historical Society will have a refreshment booth serving brats, hot dogs, and corn on the cob for a reasonable price. And pursuant to the Juvenile Diabetes Fundraising Council, I advise you I'm giving the VFW a 1-hour extra liquor license on Sunday. They paid the appropriate fee and provided us with the insurance. You should have also a letter in front of you tonight, hopefully our final draft of a letter to go out to the residents regarding the referendum. So I give you the opportunity to make any final comments or corrections. This has been reviewed by city staff and the city attorney, and the recommendation is to approve it as is. Alderman Subak?
We just need Mr. Wesley's signature and Evelyn Struck.
So with those two, I think it's complete. And not hearing any comments, corrections, or additions, it'll be approved as is. Mr. Manager?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have one report. I would like to apologize to any of our residents who may have received a return payment envelope in their City of Wooddale water bill from the Village of Glenview. The City of Wooddale, along with 36 other municipalities, use Third Millennium Services to process our water billing, since it's more cost-effective than doing it in-house. Unfortunately, there was a computer glitch which resulted in a few residents receiving Glenview payment envelopes. We do tonight have the president of Third Millennium, Jim Leader, here to explain further. Mr. Leader, would you step up to the podium?
Thank you. Am I live here? Thank you for inviting me to give an explanation of what happened. I'd like to take and assure you, if I were a baseball player, I'd be a hero. Ted Williams gets 4 hits out of 10, and he goes to the Hall of Fame. Last month, we mailed out 7 million bills, and I think we had, so far, 7 of them had the wrong envelope in it. I'm not making that for an excuse, but zero tolerance is our policy at Third Millennium, and if one wrong envelope goes to one wrong person, that's one too many. I can assure you that we have developed over the years very stringent policies that all of our employees in our production facility are trained, checked, supervisors check them, we check the supervisors. At every process, people sign off on every operation as your job moves through. Apparently what has happened, and we're still investigating it, if you'll notice on your bills above the address is a little number. You can hardly read it, a little teeny number called SRID. That's the sequence in which we process the bills. So if something goes wrong, we can go back and look and try and find out who's responsible. can a procedure be improved? It appears that somebody took some bills out and put them back in the wrong carton and didn't check them when they took them back out, a handful. We're still investigating this, and we have one employee that this is about the third time after considerable training and retraining. I can assure you as of 4:30 this afternoon, that employee will not touch your job or any other job. We take things like this extremely serious. I would be more than delighted if you would give me the names to write a letter of apology to any citizen that had received the wrong envelope. We have been in touch with Glenview. We've been doing business with them for years. They're more than willing to cooperate. We told them they can overnight the bills at our expense back to you if any of them show up there. So far, none of them have. To hopefully put your mind at ease, we've been doing business with folks, we'll just name people on each side of you, Addison and Elk Grove Village for approximately 10 years now. We've never had this incident or any other incident with either of them. I'm just here to assure you that it is a rarity, assure you that we've taken corrective steps personnel-wise, and we do have very stringent policies in effect. But when we deal with people, if people vary from and do not comply with those policies, then you got yourself a problem. And I was out of town running back in. I wanted to be here to personally offer my apology for letting you folks down, whether it's 7 bills or 1 bill or whatever it may be. We're very, very sorry that this has happened. And if you have any questions you would like to ask that I could answer for you, I'd be glad to attempt to answer them. Yes, sir.
Alderman Ptolemy.
First off, I'd like to thank you for coming here, and, you know, because we do televise our meetings, so our residents will hear, you know, your comments. And I do understand the process, you know, operations, and trust me, I know when you're dealing with people, sometimes it's very difficult, especially that many. But I want to thank you also for making Wooddale so special, okay? I mean, in that, you know, with Addison, and I mean this facetiously, okay, so please don't take offense to this, but with Addison and Elk Grove, you know, having worked for them for 10 years and having no problems with them, and I believe we're with your company now, we're in our first little over 1 year, I believe we've been with you now.
I'm not even sure it's that long now, isn't it? It's probably about,
Just a year,
yeah,
okay?
just coming up to a year,
So
I
we
believe.
appreciate being special, okay? The city, the residents appreciate being special, okay? Because Wooddale is a little bit above everybody else, so. But no, we do thank you very much for coming and, you know, and explaining, because, you know, these things do happen, and I think most people do understand that, you know, that hopefully, you know, it's a one-time situation. You've assured us it's been corrected. I'm not concerned. Thank you very much.
Well, it's very nice of you to take it that way. I've also made arrangements for at least the next 3 months, not only somebody from our supervisory staff, I'm going to have somebody from our executive office get back and get their hands a little dirty, and they're going to be standing at the end of the inserter, and they're going to be working with the supervisor, because I'll guarantee you this isn't going to happen again, and it reflects upon our company and reflects upon myself, and I take full responsibility if any employee messes up. It's my fault, nobody else's, and it's very nice of you folks to take it as you're taking it. If there's anything we can do to make you feel even more special, we would be delighted to do so.
Well, fortunately or unfortunately, if there were 7 that were mistaken, 1 went to Alderman Pizak and 1 went to the mayor. So,
I was going to comment on that. Mathematically,
Pretty lousy odds, so be done.
mathematically, we start out with 7 million bills. We mess up 7 of them. That's pretty high degree of, you know, when you look at probability. Then the probability of the 5,000 or so that go to you, we have to send it, of course, you know, to the executive staff here. We couldn't send it to somebody that moved out or whatever, but it always seems to work that way. And whether it went to you or whatever citizen it went to, we take it all with equal, you know, sincerity and seriousness, that we don't care who it goes to. If it's wrong, we are going to correct it. And again, there's a certain irony. I wish I could find the humor in it of, that it went to you and one of the other ones.
Alderman Shockey.
As long as we know now who two of the people are, would you be willing to pick up the cost for the water bill for that month for those 7 people?
Yes,
No, that would not be appropriate.
I,
No.
all I want to do when I come to my clients is to make them happy. And if that's what it would take to make you folks happy, that's what we do. We do anything that we have to keep our clients happy and to maintain the reputation and integrity of our company. Were you one of the ones that had the? I thought it might be a personal motive here. Is there any other questions, or is?
No, thank you, sir. We appreciate you coming.
All right, thank you so much for your time and understanding.
Anything further, Mr. Manager?
End of my report.
We do not have anything on the consent agenda. Community and Economic Development, Alderman Ptolemy.
I have no report.
Finance and Administration, Alderman Winger.
I have no report.
Public Health, Safety, and Judiciary, Alderman Pizak.
I have no report.
Planning, Zoning, and Building, Alderman Knight, or Alderman Ptolemy.
Mr. Mayor, I have 2 items. The first item, looking at lot consolidation requests, the petitioner and owner is Michael Ronti, Villa Cara LTD, 832 Pony Lane, Northbrook. He's requesting a lot consolidation of lots 8 and 9 in the Villa Cara subdivision to create a single lot of record for purposes of construction and use of a single-family residence. The property is within the R2 Single Family Residence District. I make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
No, Ken's going to do these.
Just a comment I want to make on this. There was a procedure that was in place up until about 5 years ago in an effort to, and it's provided for in our municipal code, that things of a non-controversial nature, much like our omnibus agenda, that come out of the Plan Commission, unanimously, there are simple lot annex consolidations or lot subdivisions where there is no objectors. Those used to come direct to City Council, and pursuant to our municipal code, should come direct to City Council. The advantage of that is it'll help balance out our agendas a little more, that the second Thursday will be a little less hectic, and the third Thursday will be a little less hectic, and it'll add a little more to our agenda on the first Thursday. Mr. Noack prepared a memorandum for me. In years past, it was common practice to have certain Plan Commission business items brought directly to the City Council for approval. For example, simple non-controversial requests for a small subdivision, a lot consolidation, a re-subdivision, and rezoning of property with approved annexation with no variations. By returning to this past practice, the application processing and approval process would actually improve the turnaround time, since final approval will occur a minimum of 2 weeks sooner than the current process. This action would be beneficial to the applicant, especially prior to the onset of fall and winter. Now, obviously, our other rules remain in place, and if at any time it's controversial, staff has the option of putting it on the committee agenda. The council has the option of tabling it to committee, and pursuant to our rules, the chairman of PB&Z committee always has the option to take it off the agenda, or any chairman for that matter has the option to take something off the agenda that has not first gone to his committee. So with those protections in place, the motion on the floor is
I had
to,
a question on the procedures.
Alderman Subak.
This won't affect the notice provision for certain variances or certain subdivisions that they need to do before planning and zoning for 250 feet surrounding the property, correct, Roger?
That is correct, Alderman Subak. It will have no effect on the public notice publications.
Thank you.
Motion on the floor to adopt the ordinance. Roll call, please. Under other business? All right, that's fine.
Consolidation for lots 8 and 9, Villa Cara subdivision.
I'll second.
And a second.
Moved and seconded. Any further on the question? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, the second item then I have is the petitioner re-subdivision request. This is, the petitioner and owner is Gulo International Development Corporation, of 1100 Landmere Road, Elk Grove. They're requesting re-subdivision proposed as lots 1 and 2 to allow for the construction and use of a banking facility. The subject property has already been annexed into the city of Wooddale. I'd like to make a motion to approve, but I'd also like to make a motion, or to include in the motion, that there was an agreement or arrangement made that for the lease, the life of the lease of the bank, that the city would receive $5,000 annually. And so can I include that in the motion? Then I'd like to include that in the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
On the question?
On the question,
Alderman Subak.
so that $5,000 would be effective for this fiscal year.
Upon, the first 5,000 would be upon issuance of a permit.
Okay.
Occupancy,
Okay.
and then every year subsequent, or every subsequent year.
Anything further? Alderman Wesley.
So does that have to be re-put in this ordinance? That they go and give us that money, or is this ordinance going to be no good now, and we got to rewrite it?
Mr. Bond.
No, what you're voting on now is the approval of that, and then when you get under other business, then you'll be approving the ordinance, and just that ordinance will be amended to include that language. So I'll incorporate that into the ordinance.
But we
According
can
to what
still
we-
approve it.
You can approve it, and it would be approved with those terms, and those terms would then be added to the ordinance, and that would be those would be the terms and conditions of the ordinance as passed, assuming it passes.
Okay.
Anything further? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, motion carries.
That concludes my report.
Public Works, Alderman Subak.
No report.
Under other business, may I have a motion to approve an ordinance granting approval of consolidation of land in the city of Wooddale located at Carroll Lane?
So moved?
Second.
This is on the adoption of the ordinance. Anything further? Roll call.
Alderman Coles?
Yes.
Alderman Subak?
Yes.
Alderman Isaac? Yes. Alderman Shockey?
Yes.
Alderman Winger?
Yes.
Alderman Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman Talame?
Yes.
That passes ordinance O-06-60. May I have a motion to approve an ordinance approving a request for subdivision of land commonly known as 146 North Cedar, Wooddale, Illinois?
So moved?
Is there a second?
Second.
On the question?
On the question,
Alderman
don't
Subak.
you have to waive the first reading first procedurally, Mr. Mayor?
I do not, that's an old procedure which Mr. Bond has said is not necessary.
I stand correct. I thought we should still waive it. I'm sorry.
Anything further? Roll call.
Alderman Coles?
Yes.
Alderman Subak?
Yes.
Alderman Isaac? Yes. Alderman Shockey?
No.
Alderman Winger?
Yes.
Alderman Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman Talame?
Yes.
That passes ordinance O-06-61. May I have a motion to approve an ordinance approving a request for subdivision of land commonly known as the Gullo Bank parcel located at 130 West Devon Avenue, Wooddale, Illinois, with the addition to the ordinance that the bank, so long as it leases the property, shall pay $5,000 per year, beginning with the issuance of the occupancy permit.
So
Is there such a
moved?
motion? Is there a second?
Second.
On the question?
On the, you just, I don't think as long as they lease it, I thought as long as they occupy it, because I don't want, no offense to the petitioners, but I don't want all of a sudden, the bank decides to buy it and they say, we don't need to pay for it anymore because of the fact that we're not leasing it. I think the word should be occupying.
City Attorney suggests lease and/or occupy.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
With that correction, anything further? Roll call.
Alderman Coles?
Yes.
Alderman Subak?
Yes.
Alderman Isaac? Yes. Alderman Shockey?
Yes.
Alderman Winger?
Yes.
Alderman Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman Talame?
Yes.
That passes. We do need an executive session tonight. Adjourn to executive session. I may have a motion to adjourn to executive session for purposes of review of the official minutes, land acquisition, land disposition, and personnel. Pursuant to ILCS 120/2C21, 2C5, 2C6, and 2C1. Moved by Alderman Talame, seconded by, was it Alderman Shockey? Roll call.
Alderman Coles?
Yes.
Alderman Subak?
Yes.
Alderman Isaac? Alderman Shockey? Alderman Winger? Alderman Wesley? Alderman
Yes.
Talame?
Yes.
That passes, and we're adjourned. Evelyn?